namajaha akhone ukubikela labo labafanele. Nekuthi nangabe loyo mfana asafakwe esibhedlela bakhone ukuthi babikele batali emakhaya. Tikhulu tifanele ukuthi tiyale tinfombi nemajaha uma baphuma emphakathini. Now emajaha ayati ukuthi tinfombi tilala todwa nalabadvuna balala bodwa. Siyimbali eMaswati, sichakazile sincobile iCovid. Bayethe wena waphakathi. Usho njalo ke Mswati kulomnyama kulabalithuli. Kulodungandaba sembelebeleni bakhephula ngejozi igazi liyaphalala. Bayethe wena waphakathi. Bayethe wena waphakathi.
Sivele ibumbene insimbi yesithupha this Friday morning siyakuvusela lapho ukhona khona noma ngabe ke ulapha kangwane or outside of the country siyakuvusela siyakwamukela kukusile breakfast show. It is a beautiful Friday morning indeed, starting off the day ku 16 degrees Celsius. Temperature is expected to rise up to 28 degrees Celsius. I beg your pardon. Litawushisa nje libalele kube kuhle kakhulu kanti ke sikatse ukuthi kwenteke lokunengi kakhulu namhla lungelele lapha heaven. But I think the exciting development is the swearing in of the members of parliament that we will be broadcasting live on Eswatini TV. But we also have an exciting program for you on Kusile breakfast show. Lo muhla sitaba nje sinema visitors lata sinikete ma topic lotawajabulela kakhulu singangeni lapho angubusele ngusifisa ngakanxumalo angikhongetwa ke njengenjwayelo amelungelele magagulu Mphombeni.
Yeah, Ngoni, I'm well sikuvusela nawubukela emakhaya. Thanks kakhulu manje sifisa ngenzaba ukuthi kutabe ku weekend lephethelako and also kutabe kunema by elections. Sidakumela ukuthi kwabane tie esifundzeni sakamanzini kanjalo kwena seshiselweni libandla delicate for imincele litabe libambe ama by elections emiphakathini lemini noma ke lesihlanu kule mphela somvo lesiyeke kanike imininingwane yatfolakala nje khasini labo la ka Facebook kanjalo naka Twitter ke phanje tinkundla letimbili tinkundla leti nentondozi ehosiya kumethula kanye naseshiselweni 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just want to compliment your shirt. It's a beautiful shirt. I also love what you did with your lipstick and your pants. You look lovely.
Yeah, ngiyabonga Mngweni. All right, simbukela on the show today njengoba ukuthi sihlale sikhulumisana nebaka ERS this week as part of Customer Service Week celebrations. The Eswatini Revenue Service relaunched their customer service standards. ERS recently underwent a rebranding exercise, transitioning from Swaziland Revenue Authority to Eswatini Revenue Service. Stabe sikhulumana Commissioner General Brightwell Nkambule utokhuluma about what the ERS has done to move from authority to service and align to the Customer Service Week theme for this year. Stabe sina at 6:30 lomhla ekseni. We'll also be joined by Veli Dlamini, who is the Eswatini Building Society Marketing Manager. Yenake utokhuluma nge Building Society mobile app and online banking app that was launched last night. Bonke labo stabe sibakhulumisa nje after 6:30 this morning.
Ya kanti-ke sitawuphindze sikhulumisane nalabaqhamuka etiko letempilo lomuhla bacala nje i-campaign lenkhulu bayibita nge-patients literacy campaign. We want to learn about all of this. Kuye-ke Musa Gininza, who is the HIV self-testing officer ka-Eswatini National AIDS Program ngaphansi kwalo letiko letempilo. Kanti-ke njengoba kungulesihlanu nje sidaba naye-ke Fabrice Msonera, who will join us to round up some of the notable games from match day 2 of 6 of the UEFA Champions League. Angathi ukuthi indzaba mlonyeni lapho ngumuphi Arsenal's loss, Manchester City's loss or PSG's loss to Newcastle. We'll hear from Fabrice ukuthi ngicabanga kanjani. We'll also discuss local games as well as lesitawabuka nje lapha eNingizimu Afrika konke lokhu lomuhla ekuseni.
Alright, at this moment asibuke ihloko lethamba imbili kumaphephandaba namuhla. Cala ngebuka liphephandaba iTimes of Eswatini ukuthi ngabe tihloko tithini lomuhla. Kulethamba embili Bheki Makhubu conferred with LLB degree, that is the editing manager who news editor with Phephandaba The Nation magazine. Kuletinye lethamba embili government hikes FPE grants. Kanti-ke kuletinye lethamba embili MP swearing in speaker election today. Asibuke ngetindzaba tasenkantolo Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has ruled elections losers cannot run for Senate. The government wants SNAT to remove FB video or pay 0.5 million malangeni.
Temidlalo ahead of Momo Cup finals le tabake ngelisonvo. Kochi Mwase stays out, who is a Malawian-born gaffer's future, let's say uncertain at Nsengizini Hotspurs. Kanzike lenye lehamba embili 150,000 emalangeni for ex-Wesleyan star in Namibia. On another one, Golden Arrows stay good to reduce Downs lead. The Golden Arrows gelena, let's say win 1-0. Maidlala against Kukuna United. Then you get the Reds get tough win. This one speaks to Liverpool. They win 2-0 versus Saint Gilois. South African squad to face Eswatini.
Let's look at your leading stories on the Eswatini Daily News. This Friday, High Court rules election losers cannot become senators. The situation is now calmer at Ndondozi. King underscores unshakable Taiwan-Eswatini ties.
3 stories only. Guletamba imbili temidlalo lomhla ekuseni Eswatini Daily News. Sakala speaks to EFA, let's say disperse over 1 million emalangeni grants to EMA affiliates. Kanzige on another one, PSG's Enrique fails Newcastle test. PSG's lost to Newcastle. Very, very embarrassing. We'll speak on that one for Fabrice later. The last one, Bros names final Bafana squad for Sihlangu clash.
Alright, it's 6 minutes after 6. Stabahlete Magatina Spear Satan Tabatitu Daswati.
Umsakazi wetithombe iEswatini TV utibophelele kuhlonipha nekulandzela umgomo wetekusakata loweluswe libandla letekuchumana eveni.
Ngephansi kwalomgomo sitimisele kusakata tindzaba letiya ngaleso sikhatsi tindzaba letide emagama lacosheme letitsembekile letitsintsa tonke tinhlangothi naletisebaleni
kusukela kutepolitiki, tetemphilo, tekulima, tetinkantolo netemhlaba wonke jikelele. Siniletsela tindzaba njengoba tinjalo ngaleso sikhatsi letenteka ngaso.
Kanzi kulomsakato siphindze sikulethele lonke luhlobo lwetemidlalo kusuka emidlalweni welibhola letinyawo kuye emidlalweni ledlalelwa ematafuleni kanye naleto letiqhamuka ngaphandle kwakuleli.
Leti tindzaba lowutiletselwa ngumsakazi wetithombe iEswatini TV.
Tindzaba silo inkosi Mswati wesithathu sesimemete imbali yesifundza saseshiselweni kutsi iphelele esigodlweni embangweni emkhosini wemhlanga. Lokhu kuvakele ngalosabambe esikhundla sekuba indvuna yembali Ibongiwe Hlatshwako ngesikhatsi yenta simemetelo esigodlweni elitsitsini. Imbali kubhekeke kutsi iphelele esigodlweni embangweni mhla til-13 kuLesetulo.
Uyezwana! Uyezwana! Lalela ngikutshele tindzaba letiphuma enkosini. Uthokandaba, tintfombi, imbali yemaswati ayiphelele esigodlweni embangweni mhla til-13 kuyo Imphala. Titawufike tibhalise ngalelo langa, tite nemhlanga wabo. Mhla til-11 tiyachitha, mhla til-15 tiyagidza. Imiyalo etikhulwini nguleso naleso sikhulu kufanele ukuthi sikhiphe emajaha lamane kute kwako ukuthi nangabe kukhona kungaphili kwalomunye lawo lamabili emajaha akhone kubikela labo labafanele. Nekuthi nangabe loyo mfana asafakwe esibhedlela bakhone ukuthi babikele batali emakhaya. Tikhulu tifanele ukuthi tiyale tintfombi nemajaha uma baphuma emphakatsini. Nawo emajaha ayati ukuthi tintfombi tilala todvwa nalabadvuna balala bodvwa. Siyimbali yemaswati, sichakazile siyincobile i-COVID. Bayethe wena waphakathi. Usho njalo-ke Mswati kulomnyama kulabalithuli, kulodungandaba sembelebeleni, bakhephula ngejozi igazi liyaphalala. Bayethe wena waphakathi.
Kanti ngakulokunye silo semhlaba sithi live leSwatini liyatigcaba futhi liyabufokotela buhlobo lobukhona emkhatsini ke kwelive leTaiwan leSwatini lesebuhambe umgamu lomudze. Ngonyama bekadze ikhuluma emcimbini wekugubha lilanga leTaiwan libe ukadze ubanjelwe eHappy Valley lapho khona imbube emhlaba bekadze imelelwe ngumpane nkosi Ngangabani. Ngonyama ibonge live leTaiwan ngekusekela leSwatini emisebentini kanye ke nasemigomeni yelive tenvutfuko.
Sive se-Taiwan leselapha even leSwatini sigubhe lilanga lekutalwa kwe-Republic of China on Taiwan elangeni labalibita nge-double 10 noma lilanga le-Taiwan. Silo semhlaba besikade simelelwe ngumpane nkosi Ngangabani kulo mcimbi wekugubha iminyaka lelikhulu ne-12 yelive le-Taiwan. Buhlobo emkhathini kwelive leSwatini nele-Taiwan bacala ngeminyaka 1968 ekubeni leSwatini litfole inkululeko. Live le-Republic of China on Taiwan kule minyaka liyengcile libonakele lisekela leSwatini ekuthuthukiseni umnotfo netenhlalakahle esiveni semaswati. Silo semhlaba sesibonge live leTaiwan ngokusekela imisebenti yelive leSwatini yetentfutfuko. Kusekela leSwatini ekufezeni umgomo wekubalelwa kumavela athuthukile kanye nekufeza emaphuzu entuthuko lekhonsile yakamhlaba eminyaka wa-2030. Ingonyama ikhutsate live leTaiwan ukuthi lithi lingabuka yonke impumelelo nentuthuko yalo lingalihlali phansi futhi lingaphelelwa ngemandla kodwa lichubeke lifake emandla ekusebenteni kuthuthuka kwelive leTaiwan.
In our economic growth pursuits, we have opened a gateway to make trade opportunities in global markets, where we wish to see our two countries benefit through their full participation. Eswatini and Taiwan are only separated by time and distance. Otherwise, we remain one in all the work we must deliver for our countries. Let us put together beyond our limits to realize every positive leverage for the benefit of our two countries and peoples. The country recently held a successful national elections that had a 91% voter turnout. We now look forward for forming a new government and that will pursue our shared goals and programs. Your Excellency, as I conclude, please allow me to say to the government and the people of the Republic of China on Taiwan that at these National Day celebrations, be mindful that over and above all the achievements we have made as a country, this is not the time to sit back and relax. Eswatini and the world are looking up to you to draw new strength to challenges, to challenge yourselves to higher and better standards. That is why we will not stop calling for your inclusion in the world space.
Lo selelivele Taiwan kuleli His Excellency Jeremy Liang uthe uyalijabulisa live leTaiwan kuba ngumsekeli lomkhulu wentuthuko yelive leSwatini.
Potential. Taiwan is honored to be Eswatini's development partners through it all. Taiwan and Eswatini share a rock-solid relationship of 55 years. We have stood by each other through thick and thin. My embassy consistently reached out to the people, making hundreds and hundreds of visits to Tingundas around the country over the past few years. Last week, Eswatini just held its general elections, and I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the entire country for such a smooth and peaceful election period. On behalf of the government of Taiwan, we look forward to working with the newly elected government and the parliament.
Umvane Nkosi ubese ufisela lamavela amabili budlelwane lobuhle nalobukhonsile waphinze futhi wafisela mengameli kunye nesive seTaiwan impilo lenhle nempumelelo. Etintabeni bikapholile Maziya ezulwini.
Inkosi Mabhudu Tembe ithi budlelwane lobukhona belive leSwatini kanye nalelo leNingizimu Afrika ikakhulu eluhlangothini lwetekuvakasha budzingeka ukuthi bukhule ngendlela yokuthi kube nedivumelwano tekusebenzisana. Inkosi Tembe beyikhuluma uma yethula ngeluvakasho lelibandla lelichamuka kaMhlaba uyalingana municipality lebetakuleli kutawethelekela lwati ngetindzaba tetekuvakasha kanye nekufundza ngetinhlangano tekonga kanye ke nekwebolekisa.
Libandla lelivela kumhlaba yalingana municipality yeNingizimu Afrika likuleli tofundza kabanti ngekutfutfukisa tekuvakasha kanye nekutfutfukisa tinhlangano tekonga nekubolekisa. Leli bandla liholwa inkosi uTembe kanye nenkosi uGumede. Inkosi uTembe ithi-ke lobudlelwano lobukhona kulamavela amabili busime kakhulu ebudlelwaneni lobentiwa ngumengameli Nelson Mandela kanye namengameli Chisano kanye neSilo.
Senza ubudlelwane esingabizwa ngokuthi is an exchange program ezokwenza ukuthi directors from this side and directors from other side bebheke ukuthi bengayiformulate kanjani into ye-MOU because ukukhuluma sishile kanjani mhlawumbe angeke ibe nama results azokwazi ukuthi eqhube lokhu ukusebenza kwethu. Sibhekile ke manje nathi ukuthi uma senza this exchange program kwi-culture kuma-co-ops engwenya glass Eswatini candles and so forth sikwenze ngokubhaleke phansi.
Lisekela la meya wamasipala wakumhlaba yalingana zonke Mtshali utvumise kuhloba edolobheni lasezulwini.
Since we got here, I've never saw a paper on the road. The town is so clean. That's why I'm saying we really are in heaven.
Umphathi welibandla letekuvakasha kuleli lindanxumalo uthi ke lolu vakasho luhambisana ngqo netivumelwano letikhona kulamavela amabili.
We are seeing a twinning of municipalities, Ezulwini municipality and Kamhlaba Yalingana municipality.
Leli bandla livakashele tindzawo takuleli etfake ekhatsi iSwazi Candles, Ingwenya Glass kanye neMandenga Cultural Village kuletinye. Leli bandla libheke ukuthi liyovusela nasemakhosini. Itindzabeni kubika Sondomlangeni nginaThemba Shabangu ezulwini.
Ngemuva kwekuthi silo sibulale emalunga lalishumi ephalamende endlu yabayisikhulu ngekusho kwemthetho-sisekelo welive. Ilanga lekufungiswa kwemalunga ephalamende lakhethiwe kanye-ke nalawo labulawe emakhosi kutawuba ngolesihlanu mhla ka-6 October 2023 ephalamende. Kanti-ke mabhalane wephalamende Benedict Xaba uthi labahlonishwa batawubheka ukuthi bafike ephalamende nga-8:45 ekuseni lapho batawubheka ukuthi nga-9 AM bathole chazelwa mayelana nalomsebenzi. Bahlonishwa laba bomake batawubhekeka ukuthi bagcoke formal noma bavunule, kanti-ke bobabe bona batawubhekeka ukuthi bagcoke emasudu lede umbala logcamile noma bavunule. Xaba uthi ngekuba kuncane kwetitulo kule gallery ngako kutawuba nelithende lapho batawulandzelela khona lo msebenzi. Imalo uthi lo mbiko wakhiwe bacwaningi lababitwa ngekuthi yifunduzi forensic services. Kanti-ke Nxumalo uphindze wathi lo mbiko usotawuyiswa emaphoyiseni ephalamende kubashushisi ebandleni letindvuna tembuso kanye nasebandleni lelibuke kucashwa kwetisebenzi tembuso. Nxumalo uthi kwamanje uhulumende angeke akhone ukukhipha lo mbiko esiveni noma bantfu bafuna kangaka kuva ukuthi ucuketheni. Nxumalo uthi lokhu kungobe-ke lo mbiko ucukethe emabito ebantfu netinkampane, kanti-ke futhi kusafanele kwentiwe luphenyo ngalokhu kucukethwe ngulo mbiko. Kwalo muhle sitawuchubeka nato tindzaba. Labangakaphumeleli elikhethweni abakhohlwe ukuthi batawukhona kungena endlini yetimphunga. Lokhu-ke kulandzela ukuthi inkantolo yamacala lendlulisiwe icitse sijubo senkantolo lenkhulu sokuthi sebangakungenela. Lendzaba yangena enkantolo kulandzela ukuthi Michael Masilela bekangakaphumeleli elikhethweni ngeminyaka wa-2018 abophe hulumende afune kubulawe isicephu semtsetfo lobengamele kusebenta kwendlu yetimphunga. Isicephu lesithi nawuhluleke elikhethweni kangeke ulumele lukhetfo lwekuba imphunga.
Njengobe seluphelile lukhetfo emalunga ephalamende sekatawukhetha ingcenye yemalunga endlu yetimphunga. Umtsetfo lobitwa ngekuthi Senate Elections Act weminyaka wa-2013 uveta ukuthi labadliwe elukhetfweni angeke bangenele lukhetfo lokuba nemalunga endlu yetimphunga. Ngeminyaka wa-2018 Michael Masilela lowadliwa lukhetfo enkundleni yakalobamba waya enkantolo lenkulu wayawucela ukuthi lesicephu lesi semtsetfo sibekwe eceleni njengobe asihambisani nemtsetfosisekelo. Inkantolo lenkulu yakhipha sijubo lesivumelana naMasilela. Noko hulumende wacela inkantolo yamacala lendlulisiwe ukuthi ibuke kabusha lendzaba. Inkantolo yamacala lendlulisiwe ithi umuntfu lozame kungena ephalamende ngelukhetfo angeke bese ushintsha lisango sekungena ngendlu yetimphunga. Inkantolo ithi kulichilo ukuthi umuntfu akhankasele nome atifunele yena kubulawa nome akhetfwe ukuthi angene ephalamende. Inkantolo yengete nekuthi kuya ephalamende akusiko kugembula. Ithi umuntu kufanele akhetse ukuthi ufuna kuya endlini yabayisikhulu noma endlini yetimphunga isasuka nje indzaba. Inkantolo iphindze yathi lesicephu semtsetfo lesikhalisa Masilela sihlose kucinisekisa ukuthi bantfu bayalingana elukhetfweni lwetimphunga. Lokunye kutsi indlu yetimphunga iyahlonipheka njengendlu leletsa umcondvo lowehlukile kunendlu yabayisikhulu. Inkantolo ibese seyikhipha hulumende embili kulendzaba yacitsa nesijubo senkantolo lenkulu sekuthi lesicephu semtsetfo asihambisani nemtsetfosisekelo. Indzabeni Eswatini TV kubika Themkosi Mavimbela enkantolo yamacala lendlulisiwe eMbabane.
Inhlangano yebantfu labasha eveni ithi iyatfokota ngekuthi bantfu labacishe babe ngu-40% wesibalo salabo lababhalisela lukhetfo bekubantfu labasha. Lenhlangano ithi labantfu labasha bavotile baphindze bangenela lukhetfo etigabeni letahlukene. Lokhu-ke kuvetwe ngumchumanisi wesive nalenhlangano Sibonga Konke Dlamini.
Inhlangano yabantu abasha eSwatini ikujabulele kakhulu ukuthi abantu abasha bangenele lolu khetho. Labanye bangene bavota, labanye bangenela lona lolu khetho banominate. Sikuthokodele kakhulu-ke lokho ngoba siyinhlangano sibambisene nezinhlangano letinye bese ba-encourage-ile abantu abasha ukuthi bangenele lolu khetho. Ingani ngoba lokhu kuhambelana ne-National Youth Policy, khombandlela welive lobuke ukuthi abantu abasha bangenele tindzaba leadership netindzaba governance. Sitivulile-ke tandla futhi siyinhlangano kokuthi laba bantu labasha labakhethiwe noma labawinile sitabasita sitabalekelela lapho khona kumbe badzinga kulekelelwa khona endzabeni tabo capacity building. Lokhu sijabulise kakhulu-ke kubona leti nombolo tinyuka losho ukuthi kube ngu-40% ngekuva nga-EBC bantu labasha labangenele kuvota. Kuyasithokozisa kakhulu-ke lokho-ke sitawuchubeka siyinhlangano 2028 ekuthenini sikhuthade abantu labasha ukuthi leti nombolo leti tiphindze tingathi tiyenyuka sibonela abaningi balingenela likhetho.
Kutemidlalo, mengameli wenhlangano yemidlalo we-table tennis lapha eveni phesizulu uthi le nhlangano seyitawutfola tintfo tekudlala lo mdlalo letilinganiselwa ku-90,000 emalangeni letichamuka enhlanganweni lengamele kudlalisa lo mdlalo emhlabeni i-International Table Tennis Federation. Zulu uthi nakuhamba kahle le tintfo kubhekeke ukuthi tifike kuleli ngenyanga yeNgongoni eminyakeni losetulu.
Inhlangano ledlalisa umdlalo we-table tennis seyitfole tintfo tekudlalisa lo mdlalo letichamuka enhlanganweni lengamele kudlalisa lo mdlalo emhlabeni International Table Tennis Federation letilinganiswa emalini lenganga 90,000 emalangeni. Kusho kwamengameli walenhlangano lapha eveni phesizulu uthi nakuhambe kahle le tinto kubheka ukuthi tifike kuleli enyanga yeNgongoni.
Sibe nenhlanhla sisithe kulamalanga laphelile sathola i-email leqhamuka ka-International Table Tennis Federation lebe ikhuluma nge-equipment letawulethwa eSwatini. Basipha-ke le equipment kusho ukuthi batasipha ematafula lang-8 msakati bese basipha nema-rackets lang-100 bese basipha nemabhola lang-1,500 bese basipha nema-net lang-8 lalingana lamatafula msakati. Nasitshintsha ngoba basinike imali bebasinike ama-options lamabili. Kusho ukuthi le option yokuqala beyokuthi basinike imali sitithengele le equipment. Leyesibili ngilokuthi bashiphele le equipment izitofika lakhaya. Sibonekele ukuthi i-equipment ye-table tennis la Southern Africa kusetele lama heavy duty ematafula. So lengesheya batasithumelela le equipment lesikhona ukuhosta ngayo ema-tournaments usho angaphandle. So itasisita le equipment ngaphandle ngoba ngiyona le professional msakati. Imali amount to 90,000 nangabekisa to emalangeni ngoba bebasinike lo option A bebasinike ukuthi basipha imali bebatasinika $5,000.
Zulu uthi nasetikhona babuke ukuthi batisebenzise kakhulu kade etinhlelweni tebadlali abancane labasaqala kufunza kanye nekudlala lo mdlalo. Lobikela umsakati eSwatini TV temidlalo ngilinda Dlamini kanzi umbiko uhlanganiswe nguFabrice Msonera eMbabane.
Kwelo muhle sitephetha ngaleyo ndzaba leyo ke tindzaba tetfu tekucala lo mhla ekuseni siyakukhumbuta nje ukuthi kutawuthi nakugabanca insimbi yemfica sitabe sikulethela bukhoma the swearing in of members of the 12th Parliament of the Kingdom of Eswatini, i-House of Assembly. Utayijabulela kakhulu makugabanca insimbi yemfica.
uyezwa na uyezwa na uthokandaba emagumbamane omhlaba ngemandla sibaya esigodlweni elitsitsini mhlati ngemashumi lamabili nakutsatfu imbala usho njalo ke mswazi omnyama kulaba luthuli ulodunganzaba wasembelebeleni ulodunganzaba wasemambondweni uduma phasi bakuzwe ngezingcingo msakandaba bakuzwa ngezingcingo bayakubalekela bayethe wena waphakathi.
All right, welcome back. Sakuvusela nolo Sanza Sivulela. This week, as part of Customer Service Week celebrations, the Eswatini Revenue Service relaunched their customer service standards. Dokumulagene Goguti ERS recently underwent a rebranding exercise, transitioning from Swaziland Revenue Authority to Eswatini Revenue Service. Domhlakseni, we are joined by Commissioner General Brightwell Nkambule, Dr. Kuluma, about what the ERS has done to move from authority to service and align to the Customer Service Week theme for this year. Good morning. Asivusele baba Nkambule siyabonga nje ukuthi ube nathi lo mhla ekseni kumbe kuva nje ukuthi vele siyakhumulela ukuthi njengoba sanishito ukuthi nasuka from Swaziland Revenue Authority sesiku Eswatini Revenue Service. Let's talk about le change nje in a commitment yenu ne-ERS nasibuka nje lokuthi nine vele niseva eMaswati. Sikhuluma nje ngalokho.
Siyabonga tatawethu sivusele nibabukeli emakhaya ema-clients ethu. Kunjalo kulomnyaka lophelile we transitioned from Eswatini Revenue Authority to Eswatini Revenue Service. Le transition yethu beyikhombisa i-commitment yethu singaphane Eswatini Revenue Service yekuthi we would like to improve service, because service is at the guts of the work that we do. Actually, nangachaza nje thathe lapha ngekuthi i-purpose yethu kahle kahle yekulekelela eMaswati ukuthi understand ema-obligations awo on tax and customs laws, yekulekelela nabo somabhizinisi nabo ukuthi ba-understand ukuthi kufuna bendeni kuze ukuthi ba-comply. So uyabona ke lokuthi kuze ukuthi sibonakale vele kuma-clients ethu ukuthi sikhonela ukuthi kubalekelela kube mcoka lokuthi sende le transition from authority to service, because service is about facilitating, it's about helping.
Yeah, all right. I think lokunyela sekubonile nje nikwenda baba Nkambule yenza ukuthi also nishintshe ama-standards enu, and they are built on 5 pillars. Kumina ngasichazela nje kabanti ngawala ma-pillars lawa. I think ngimbondile communications na visibility. Kume kusinceda nje sithombe ukuthi vele nani wakha la ma-pillars lawo beniwa based on what?
Sibonge that lama pillars kahle mane. So yokuqala nje ngu visibility. Visibility uchaza lokuthi sitawubonakala, sitawuba khona, sitawuba accessible lapho khona ema-clients ethu adzinga lusito lwethu. Lelandzelako ngu respect usho ukuthi ezisebenza nema-clients ethu sitawusebenta ngenhlonipho, sitawusebenta with humility, with utmost respect and integrity, so that isto improve lokuthembana ukuthi ama-clients ethu asethembe, so that uma ngabe kwendeka bacakekile bangesabi, ngoba sifisa ukuthi bangesabi ukuthi lapha sengiyagileka ngicela ningibonise ukuthi ngaphuma ngibhekephi. So le respect ke ikhulumisa lokuthi sitabokuhlonipha noma kuhle noma kunjani, sitabokuhlonipha nje. Lelandzelako speed uchaza lokuthi njalo nasi provider le service sitayi provider ngesikhathi lesifishane, sitawushesha kafishane. Sinema sinetibopho ke lesesibekile ukuthi nasendi service lenje sitayicetha ngesikhathi lesingaka. So nako lokho siyakuphakamisa ukuthi we will always adhere to these turnaround times that we've committed to. Lenye ke i-communications. I-communications lapho sithi ngaso sonke isikhathi information ledzingwa ngema-clients ethu sitabaniketa ngesikhathi. Kuwo onke ema-platforms lapho khona ama-clients ethu asebenta khona, we will always be communicating. Njenga namhlanje siya-communicate. Sitawucommunicate ngetindlela letahlukahlukene. Leti tawubuka nje ukuthi le client le i-platform kuyo le relevant ngilenjani bese siya-communicate. Sengigcina nje ku-communications thina siyinhlangano ye-Eswatini Revenue Service. We are always looking and implementing ways to simplify compliance. So singaso sonke isikhathi si-introduce ideas lenta ukuthi kube lula ukuthi batheli bethu ema-clients ethu akhone ku-comply. So sithi ke kanze kube siwa-introduce lama-initiatives lamasha sitabobatisa ngaso sonke isikhathi so they are not taken by surprise.
Okay. I think uthinte one of the pillars nje babenkambulele communication ukuthi vele niyazama ukukhokha information out there for ema-clients enu. Ingabe kuba khona leyo mhlambe leso sikhala leso sokuthi kube khona ne-feedback lenitfolako kuyoma-clients enu mhlambe leyo interaction on social media page platforms noma mhlambe kuba nama-suggestion boxes la khona kuma-service centers kukhona yini lelo thuba lokuthi nawo ama-clients enu ayifake imivo mhlambe ilishintshe labafisa ukubona ka-IRS noma mhlambe ama-suggestions nje.
Kunjalo tsatsoethu. Nasingaqala nje la kuleli khasi la Facebook lolibekile. Kune balingani le Eswatini Revenue Service vele labagathe ukuthi njalo nje kwaba nombuzo loqhamukako lapha bayayiphendula lembuzo. Ngendlula kancane kune system lesi introduceile minyakeni lengcile sithi net promoter score. Le ndlela lesebenta ngayo ke le system le ithi njalo nje nangabe usivakashele either ema-service center noma ema-border emahekeni njalo nje nawe ubuzivakashele sitawube sithina sesikuthumela i-SMS letawubuta ukuthi kule service lesikunikete yona uyibona kanjani on a score of 1 up to 10 where would you rate us. Bese kuba nesikhala ke lesincane la sibuta khona ukuthi yini thine lo ofise wena ukuthi siyende kuze ukuthi uscorishe a10 ngoba na uscorishe a10 sithi uyipromote siyathi ukuthi utawutshela abantu labanengi ukuthi hey ngiphatheke kahle lapha. So uma ke ungakascorishi lo 10 sitakubuta ukuthi singenda kanjani ukuze uscorishe 10. So uyabona ukuthi phose sonke isikhathi sithola bo over 1,000 feedback on a monthly basis and siyawa-analyze lama feedback siwabisele emuva kubalingani ema-service center nasemahekeni ukuthi ema-clients ethu athi and nalesi kona ngaku phakamisa nje ukuthi uma sicala le transition yethu lo mnyaka lophelile le score set was about 6.49 kusho ukuthi 6.49% promoters ngalo mnyaka. Uthena uphela lo mnyaka we were at 49%.
Okay.
Lokusho ukuthi we improve from lo 6 what percentage saya ku 49% ngemnyaka monye. So 49% promoters kuma clients ethu.
Okay. So ngasho nje msofuko ukuthi mhlawumbe leyo mibono yesive influenceile mhlawumbe kushintsha kwenu kuma standards mhlawumbe nasikhuluma nje ngalama pillars nje lo socetha khuluma ngawo.
Kakhulu ngoba siyalalela sifuna kwathi ukuthi yini lesingayenda kuze ukuthi ema-clients ethu akhone kusitakala akhole ukucomplya ngesikhathi kuma obligations awo.
Yeah, I think njengoba nihlale nisho nje ngikhambule ukuthi vele you will not settle for anything less than excellence. I think senibonile nje kusukela nje eminyakeni lophelele ukuthi vele seniyasuka la emaphepheni you have gone digital. Most of your services lena provider konifuna ukuthi sive sisebenzise mhlambe buchwephesha. Ingavela mhlambe lokho kuyanisebenzela yini sithi nisive ngaloko ngoba sidakhumula ukuthi vele abantu abaningi so labasafuna ukugcwalisa amaphepha sesinibonile ukuthi vele nine senidile kakhulu njenga paperless. Ingabe lokho mhlambe kuyanisebenzela yini eMsuthu?
Kuyasebenzela kakhulu, sive siyajabula kakhulu ngoba phela lala sesikhona khona nje kusho ukuthi noma nje sengisekhaya nangabe nje ngifuna i-tax clearance certificate sengiyayithola nje ngisekhaya. Nangabe ngifuna kufakwa umbiko wami noma i-return sengiyayithola nje sengiyakhona nje ngisekhaya ngiyifake. Noma ngifuna kubhadala ngisekhaya ngiyabhadala. So bayajabula kakhulu laba ngema clients ethu. Siyaba accommodate ke angikubekise angikuhlapse ngenhloko lokuthi basekhona laba tawuthi mina vele ngicela ningibonise la nala nabo labo siyaba accommodate. Nangabekisa nje nyalo sicala isizini yema returns. Siyabakhuthaza ukuthi faka le return usekhaya ungagibeli ibhasi kude service center. Kepha lona lothi mina lapha ngiyacakeka siyam accommodate water service center sawuhlala phansi nawe sikulekelele ufaka umbiko wakho. But lese sikubonile ukuthi vele ikhona le shift sebancane abantu labethe service center. So labanenge vele bafaka la kubongcondo mshini. So ihambe kahle lo hlelo lelo.
Yeah, and also ngaphambi kokuthi congratulations Mr. Nkambule ukuthi you have been nominated for 3 categories kuma customer service awards like ukuthi abanjwe this month. Kepha ngaphi lama categories leni ngconyo kiwo?
Yes, sibonga kakhulu nathi kuyasikhuthaza kakhulu. Yokucala i-Public Enterprise of the Year labasi nominated kuyo. Yesibili Customer Experience Team of the Year nalapho si nominated. Le start was strategic leader with excellence. Nalapho si nominated and kusinika umdlandla kakhulu. Lokho ngoba kusho ukuthi onke lama efforts leswendako ayabonakala kuma clients ethu.
All right. So ingabe nje in commemoration of customer service week ingabe kukhona yini leni kwendele ema customer end ngoba sakhumbula ukuthi ucala ngemsombuluko namhla Friday uyaphetha kukhona ama prizes noma mhlambe ama goodies ema customer end lawatholile in beniyenda nje to commemorate customer service week.
Kusho ukuthi nje live lonke elikathi li celebrate nathi si management isiphumile sale ngaphandle. Silekelela balingani labasemahekeni nasema service center. Kepha lengakubeka lokunye lokumcwa kakhulu lokucoincide nayo le customer service week ukuthi kuleli viki leliphelile former minister of finance wethu uapprove ukuthi si implement nakulokuthiwa into bloom rule lapho kusho ukuthi uma ngabe unesikweleti angisesikweleti sakho siba ne-interest nenthela bewuthola ukuthi le interest itawukhula ize yence le sikweleti le principal uthola ukuthi kubathwalisa kamadima laba ngama clients ethu. So uapprove le minister wathi as introduce le system let's into bloom which means it's bese siyayikhatha le interest nasi above principal. So sijabule kakhulu nje ukuthi lo mthwalo lona induna iuthulile emahlombe ema clients ethu nasibala utawukhatha tikweleti leti about 1.7 billion. So ungawucabanga nje ukuthi ema clients ethu bekathwele nje le madvala lamakhulu. So 1.7 billion sijabuliswa ngilokuthi kucoincide naloko lokusho ukuthi nje sive sonke sijabulile nakuthi umthwalo wehlile emahlombe ema clients.
Okay, kwagcina nje Msuthu ukuthi ama prizes mhlambe lenitabe nje niphisana ngawo this Friday.
Ema prizes siphisane ngawo itolo sinike ema brand ambassadors ethu. Kunema brand ambassadors ethu lamabili. Lesi wakhomelisile kunambethe na Ngalanga laba ngamajale besigijima nawo kakhulu. So siwakhomelisile ke empeleni itolo. Ngaphandle kwaloko wonke umuntu service center kuba netinshwana nje letinhle latithola ku leti branded kuze ukuthi bathi nabahleli phase emthundi banathe mandi babe bayibona le brand. So they leave the brand with us.
Okay. Alright, together. Thank you so much, Mr. Nkambule, for your time. We're going to vele go TRS na ibeka commemorate Customer Service Week licala ngemsombuluko kanti ke iyaphetha lo muhla kanti nama ufuna ama goodies akho ungavakashela i-service center yaka ERS anywhere in the country. The second break nasibuya sikhulumisana neba Building Society laba launch i-mobile app yabo itolo.
What do you think the best part of traveling is? Is it the food, or is it the conversation, or is it the sights and sound? If you're ready to explore, we are ready to show you the best way how. We'll give you access to the best luxury getaway sites in the Kingdom of Eswatini, and of course show you vacation sites that suit your budget, because you do not need a lot of money to actually have a great time. Join us on the next adventure on Buhlebethu, only on Eswatini TV.
Eswatini Lifestyle is all about inspiration, drive, and swag. Eswatini Lifestyle is informative and fun while covering all aspects of life, be it people, places, and trends in the Kingdom of Eswatini. We got you covered. The focus is on the quality of life. Eswatini Lifestyle will spark your interest. Catch Eswatini Lifestyle every Friday at 7:30 p.m. on Eswatini TV, Sibugo Semaswati.
So welcome back. As mentioned, you see WC's Kulumisana na Basuga Eswatini Building Society Sikuluma mobile app and online banking that was launched last night. Sister Kulumisana na Sandy Lelanga along with digital services manager. So now voting abaphathelene isikhathi lesingaka ukuthi by launch the app finally. Good morning asikuvusele Mr. Langa siyabonga. Yeah, kwanthatha isikhathi but finally last night you launched le mobile app. Ngabe mhlambe kusiniketa nje sithome sekuthi itawusebenza kanjani nje. What's in it for my clients and SBS?
Asibonge emsakadi ngicela ngikubingelela nebabukele ekhaya siyabonga lelithuba lesilitholile si building society ngokuthi sithi establish natinzaba letimnanzi njengoba bosokuchazile lokuthi besilonja itolo i-mobile app yethu kanye na online banking wethu lokunye ngilokusho nje lokuthi longa khona kukwenda la kulo online banking ne mobile app yethu uyakhona kwenda ama payments ingcumbi la afana nokuthi nje uyakhona ukuthi ubhadare kuma accounts akulamanye amabhange la kakhona locally phinze futhi uyakhona ukuthi uthenge gas ukhona kubhadare mandi uthenge ne airtime uthenge nema data bundles uyakhona futhi nokuthi uconnect download la statement if ufuna statement ngadzinga ukuthi uzohambe uye ebhange ukhona futhi nekuverify if mangabe khona beka kubhadere ngayo yona le mobile app noma online banking wase SBS uyakhona ukuchecka ngoba siyathi ukuthi siphile etikhatsini la khona bamvu sebaba creative bayakhona ukuthi angayakha nje umvu i-proof of payment but ukhanza ukuthi akusiyo yona.
Okay. Yeah, kubuda nje ukuthi vele sometimes bamhla abanenge i-technology nje vele bayebalekela bayesaba. Kubuda lokuthi is it user friendly yini ukuthi nje client yena mhlambe naye sayidownloadile le app yangena lapha kumaluleni kuyisebenzisa ukuthi okay nama payments naku la ngithenga khona i-data naku la ngithenga khona gesi kumalula yini nje ukuthi ngikhone kuma-maneuver around the app.
Uma siyakha le app makwendiwa le design that was put as top of mind ukuthi sifuna ukuthi ama customers ethu akhona ukuthi kube melula ukuthi navigate or akhona kubona lokuthi athole ini makase kangenile la kiyo kunale kunye lesithi ma quick links la ungakhona khona ukuthi udibekele wena ukuthi lama transactions lovama kuwenda uvele usima ungena uvele uconze nje kiwo. So yendiwe kokuthi ibe simple ingabi nale clutter futhi leningi so that uyakhona lokutibona letinto ukuthi tihleli kuphi. So that was top of mind when designing le app kokuthi kube melula for lama customers ukuthi makayi accessa abone lokuthi kufuna ukuthi ashone kuphi makafuna kwenda lokutsite.
Okay, ngabe nasibuka nje ama features ayo le app ukukhona mhlambe ama features la fire card ukuthi I can change ngibeke daily limit mhlambe ngifuna kuni transaction yemali enkulu I can be able to change that on my app. Mhlambe nasingabuka futhi lamanye ama features ukuthi I can also change my password kiyo le app yami ngimaphi nje mhlambe lamanye ama features lesingathi nje vele amcoka ama customer end kumele awadi.
Okay, I think already bese ngimention ile verify proof of payment which I think I key leyo. Uyakhona ukuthi u-edit or u-update information yakho le personal within the app. Uyakhona kuyichange ne password if for whatever reason ungeva ngazi ukuthi ibe compromised. Uyakhona futhi within the app ukuthi ungaloga if mangabe utravelisha stokhona kukumonitor i-debit card yakho. Ungabe solo ushayela contact center noma uye branchini uyakhona futhi nokuthi usharishe if mawufuna ukudownloada statement sakho you can share it to different locations la on your mobile device kude lokuthi kunale restriction ukuthi ungayisenda nje only to your email. So there's quite a number of very nice and creative features lakhona la kule app yethu. And also just to mention lokho ukuthi this is just the first cut lelesiyendile nyalo. We are still going to be developing and enhancing it more as isichubeka because we want ukuthi ikhona ukuthi inikete ama customer i-content le rich ukuthi akhona kwenda a lot of things ngayo. And also nalokho ukuthi it just coincides kamnanzi with the customer service week because we are doing all of this for our customer so that banking in my customer ethu ibe melula phindze ibe affordable as well.
Okay, so has it gone live yet? Falakala nje Play Store and App Store my customer sengacala ukuthi I download?
Yes, as of last night nje so ngakhona kuyi-downloada uphindze futhi it's a quick registration. You don't need to go to the branch so long as unalama account details akho and your personal details you can just register for yourself where you are at your convenience.
Yeah, I think indzaba futhi imcoka nendzaba ukuthi si emphasize indzaba ama password ukuthi mas create ama password ama usernames kube information leto watiwa ngimi kuphela. I think unga emphasize nje ukuthi vele kubaleka ngana ukuthi vele lama details lawo vele abe wakho wethu as a client.
Yeah, but I think we can ngeke overemphasize on the issue ye security. Kulama passwords kumcoka vele lokwakhe ungawabhali phansi so that tabe sekuba khona umlonga khona kwatfola. Also over and above that send effort ukuthi protect my accounts my customers by having lama validations ukuthi mangabe wenda i-transaction confirm each time via ma OTPs la send to le nombolo yakho le registered. Yes.
So nasengikhohliwe password ngiyakhona ukuthi mhlambe ngidishintshele mina futhi kule app noma kudinga ukuthi ngiyebhange ngene ngekhatha bhange.
We do have a forgot password functionality where you can trigger a password reset and then bese so change the password yakho.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, sure sekonke sekumenge mumo mozi. So I think naloko sekunciphisa netinombolo mhlambe tebamfula bangena ngekhathi ebhange kutonda ama transactions kutobuda lokho naloko ngabe vele mhlambe niya ku anticipate vele lokho ukubona ukuthi kutowendeka.
Lesekufisile ukuthi ama customer ethu ende letimvo letita connected ivalue etimpilweni tawo. So il customer lethu alingedi ebranchini litokwenda transaction le belingakhona ukuthi mhlambe lingayenda la. So our intention is that let's enable the convenience ukuthi my customer akhona kwenda banking yawo without having the hassle of traveling to the branch all the time.
Yeah, I think ngokugcina nje Sandile ngifuna futhi ukuthi will the app keep me logged in on my phone amavele mhlambe kumele ngihlale ukuthi ngilog out.
So
itawenda kanjani ya?
You will sign on but as soon as uba idle for a couple of seconds, well for a couple I think it's 2 minutes then it does say timer out. So if you try and continue with that session, angeke usakhona kutabe penza redirect to your login. Yes.
So I think kubalekile vele ukuthi vele silog out because ama safety measures I think nihlale nisitshela nje ngetindzaba double fraud, online scams. I think kubalekile ukuthi vele ama clients akwazi lokho ukuthi vele nakaceza kusebenzisa ayo log out immediately.
Yes, it's very important, but I think we also need to assist the customer where maybe that is not possible by having lama timeout sessions.
All right. So yatholakala like App Store na Play Store.
Yes, so we're currently listed on App Store yaga Apple for iOS devices. Then we are also have listed on a Play Store for my Android devices.
All right. Thank you so much. Mr. Langambugeli Sauti Vele, SBS has gone live nabo sebenayo a mobile app lapho khona ungenda ama transactions akho as a client yaga SBS. You can download it today on Play Store or App Store. Let's take a break. Now we have a traffic update.
Do you remember the spinning thing? This is us. This picture represents what we did. We were there when coronavirus wreaked havoc in our population. Together with other stakeholders, we formed the first line, controlling the spread of the unknown and unseen enemy of the people. Anxious ourselves, we collected dead bodies countrywide. At the time when no one wanted to come near dead bodies of loved ones, we did care for our fellow citizens. Thank you, the people of Eswatini and teams of first responders.
Asiphinze sinimukele sidabuka simo semgwaqo na assistant inspector kubheki muzi kule asekuvusele kule lomhla ekseni ngabe kuyahambe kayini emgwaqweni lomhla.
Anguvusele Thombeni ekseni ngivusele umbukelo welihlelo sivuka imigwaqo yethu emadolobheni amakhulu nasetindaweni ekusebenza lekufaya Kusile Park mathapha lapha enhlangano la nje kunemisebenzi emikhulu lento angisosize seyiyaphisitela umthamo wetmodolo so vele uphakeme kungaba kugcizelela nje kakhulu bekunene ukuthi asikhumbule ukuthi kumgcoka kulandela timpawu temgwaqo nemithetho yemigwaqo nekuhloniphana nje nakube lomnye sombona asephuthele kanti emadolobheni ethu iba netimgwaqo edolobheni elikhulu laseMbabane lapha kumathapha kamanzini nalapha enhlangano sisebenza kahle kanti ekhasi edolobheni laseMbabane lesingakuphawula nje solo uyakhiwa umgwaqo lapha eCentral kuna stop and go lophakanyisiwe lapho lekusho ukuthi siyawunikezana wona ke emathuba kukhumbuta nje labo labaphuma kwedolobheni ukuthi labaqhamuka ngocheckers ukuthi asizame kuyawuhamba lapha edulu kusomhlelo road noma ke nakuvuma usebenzise lo mgwaqo lomkhulu losuka khona yeke lasengwenya ubheke khona kumathapha kunciphisa ke nangu umthamo wetmodolo loba khona nyalo ekuseni lapha eCentral nekunaka ke awube kunene kuyona leyo ndzawo indzawo lefitela bona abantwana besikole asibanake ke kanti kusomhlelo road solo ke imigwebo yaphansi iyadwetshwa lapho kulungisa ukuthi asheshe abonakale nangikhaya ema-speed humps lesibekwele wona khona lapha kuloya mgwaqo lomuhle nekukhuthatha ke labo labawusebenzisako nakhona ukuthi asizame bekunene thina lesihamba ngencola sekufutha phela sendisiqiniseko sokuthi sima etindaweni letiphephile singanawuvimbela labo labahamba ke ngalokuqonzile kuwona loyo mgwaqo loyo kwatise ukuthi akusiwo umgwaqo lomkhulu nani ukuthi ungavuma nje ukuthi ungema ecadzini kwemgwaqo utabe sowuphathamisa kuhamba kwato ke timodolo kamanzini noma ke lapha indase kumathapha azozamiwe ukuvalwa ke langikhaya ama-potholes lakhona lapha etibaneni kepha ke isekhona yalelezo sigojana leti yawubita ukuthi uhambe ngebunono bakade usendlula kuleyo nzawana leyo kanti kamanzini khona nasi yasitalati lesuka lapha efuthi sibuke ikhasi ebus rank noma lapha enterprise lapha eKentucky nathi yasiba netemgwaqo awunaso leso sitalati leso esibonakala sesinetigojana sibili noma ke ama-potholes ekhathi edolobheni nakhona abashayeli bayacwayisa ukuthi litubana balehlise basenza kuleyo ngcingwana leyo. Kanti lehlangano khona sivetile ngaphambilini ukuthi imigwaqo yethu solo iyakhiwa nangelo M11 lobheka khona lapha kubo Sihluze. Sisebenzisa ke imigwaqo lesibekele yona kwesikhashana ukuthi singayisebenzisa sisangena noma siphuma ekhathi edolobheni sigcizelele nje ukuthi kubeke wona ama-temporary speed humps nawusuka lapha emathendele wenyukela khona lapha kafaya. Kanti lesinye isifundza lesingakuveta ukuthi asekhona lama-potholes lamemgwaqweni nawusuka nje lapha bomhlabovu ubheka eBhunya usuka lapha emafutheni ubheka koLuke usuka khona isiko ubuya iTule eMotshani lapha ekhathi yehlane nawungena uqhamuka khona lapha kolukhula noma ke lapha eSimunye nakhona akhona ama-potholes. Ngibashayeli emehlo abo akabe ngilakhaliphile ngaso sonke isikhathi. Singena ke kuyo impelasonto asijingiswa ukukhuthatha emaswati bekunene ukuthi asikhumbule ukuthi imoto lasithithi nasesithethe mandla taksako kanti nawuneluhambo yena siqiniseko sokuthi uthola isikhathi lesanele sokuphumula nemtimba wakho ungiloyo vumako ukuthi ungayichuba ingcola bese sihlala kahle emotolweni silayisha ngelinani liyabantu lelo lelifanele. Kungaba ngiloko nje kuseni sithi akube ilanga lelihle nisachubeka nomsebenzi wenendlela emsakazo naso sibe semaswati sisifisele ilanga lelihle naleliphephile sachubeka nomsebenzi yethu. Siyabonga.
Sibakhulu kule kusiketa leyo mbiko lomhla ekseni imbukela siphindze sinikhumbude ukuthi umsakato utaba unethulela lo utabe kwendeka eParliament lomhla nga9:30 lapho kubheka ukuthi kube nekufungiswa kwemalunga eParliament lomhla ekseni at 9:30. Second break nasibuya sathatha indzaba singisi.
We at Eswatini Television Authority are committed to observing the Eswatini Communication Commission's Broadcasting Code of Conduct.
Under the code, we are committed to broadcast news that is current, free from hate speech, accurate, balanced, and fair.
From politics to business, health, agriculture, courts, and global news, we bring you the latest updates as they happen, when they happen.
We cover all the sporting codes from the football pitch to the chessboards.
This is Eswatini TV News.
This is the news. His Majesty King Mswati III has summoned Imbali from the Kusile region to congregate at Mbangweni Royal Residence for the Umhlanga ceremony. This was revealed by Indvuna during an announcement that she made at Lutsitsini Royal Residence. The regiment is expected to arrive for registration at Mbangweni Royal Residence on the 13th of October.
Lalela ngikutshele tindzaba letiphuma enkosini. Uthokandaba, tinfombi, imbali yemaswati ayiphelele esigodlweni eMbangweni mhla tili-13 kuyo Imphala. Titawufike tibhalise ngalelo langa, tite nemhlanga wabo. Mhla tili-11 tiyachitha, mhla tili-15 tiyagidza. Imiyalo etikhulwini nguleso naleso sikhulu kufanele ukuthi sikhiphe emajaha lamani kude kwako ukuthi nangabe kukhona kungaphili kwalomunye lawo lamabili emajaha akhone kubikela labo labafanele nekuthi nangabe loyo mfana asafakwe esibhedlela bakhone ukuthi babikele batali emakhaya. Tikhulu tifanele ukuthi tiyale tinfombi nemajaha uma baphuma emphakatsini. Now emajaha ayati ukuthi tinfombi tilala todwa nalabaduna balala bodwa. Siyimbali yemaswati sichakazile sincobile iCovid. Bayethe wena waphakathi. Usho njalo ke Mswati kulomnyama kulabalithuli. Kulodungandaba sembelebeleni bakhephula ngejozi igazi liyaphalala. Bayethe wena waphakathi.
His Majesty King Mswati III says the Kingdom of Eswatini is humbled by the strong bilateral relations between Taiwan and Eswatini, which have been existing for so many years. Speaking during the 12th National Day celebration of the Republic of China and Taiwan at the Happy Valley, where the King was represented by His Royal Highness Prince Ngangabani, His Majesty expressed gratitude to Taiwan for the support towards the country's development initiatives.
The Taiwanese in the Kingdom of Eswatini gathered and celebrated the Taiwan National Day or the Double 10 Day at the Happy Valley. His Majesty King Mswati III was represented by His Royal Highness Prince Ngangabani during the 112th National Day celebration. The Kingdom of Eswatini and the Republic of China and Taiwan have had bilateral relations since Eswatini's independence in 1968. The Republic of China and Taiwan has contributed immensely to the socio-economic development of the country. His Majesty has extended gratitude to the Republic of China and Taiwan for the support towards development initiatives, national vision of attaining development status, and the attainment of the United Nations 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. The King has also encouraged the government and the people of Taiwan that with the achievements they have made, this is not the time to sit back and relax.
In our economic growth pursuits, we have opened a gateway to make trade opportunities in global markets, where we wish to see our two countries benefit through their full participation. Eswatini and Taiwan are only separated by time and distance. Otherwise, we remain one in all the work we must deliver for our countries. Let us put together beyond our limits to realize every positive leverage for the benefit of our two countries and peoples. The country recently held a successful national elections that had a 91% voter turnout. We now look forward for forming a new government and that will pursue our shared goals and programs. Your Excellency, as I conclude, please allow me to say to the government and the people of the Republic of China and Taiwan that at these National Day celebrations, be mindful that over and above all, the achievements we have made as a country, this is not the time to sit back and relax. Eswatini and the world are looking up to you to draw new strength to challenge yourselves to higher and better standards. That is why we will not stop calling for your inclusion in the world space.
Taiwan ambassador in the Kingdom of Eswatini, His Excellency Jeremy Liang says, Taiwan feels proud and grateful to be a development partner to the kingdom.
Taiwan is honored to be Eswatini's development partners through it all. Taiwan and Eswatini share a rock-solid relationship of 55 years. We have stood by each other through thick and thin. My embassy consistently reaches out to the people, making hundreds and hundreds of visits to Tingundas around the country over the past few years. Last week, Eswatini just held its general elections, and I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the entire country for such a smooth and peaceful election period. On behalf of the government of Taiwan, we look forward to working with the newly elected government and the parliament.
His Royal Highness then proposed a toast to the warm and cordial relations that exist between the two countries and the good health and welfare of the President and the people of Taiwan. On the news, I'm Polile Mazia in Ezulwini.
Inkosi Mapudu Tembe says there's a need to cement the great relationship that exists between Eswatini and Umhlabuyalingana municipality. Inkosi Utembe says they are willing to learn and share knowledge in improving the tourism sector. He was speaking during the tour briefing of the delegation that is currently in the country.
Delegation from Umhlabialingana municipality is in the kingdom to benchmark on improving cooperatives and the tourism sector. Speaking during the media briefing, Inkosi Tembe says the relationship that exists in the two countries is as a result of partnership forged by His Majesty King Mswati III, President Chisano and Nelson Mandela.
Senza ubudlelwane esingabizwa ngokuthi is an exchange program ezokwenza ukuthi directors from this side and directors from other side bebheke ukuthi bengayiformulate kanjani into ye-MOU because ukukhuluma sishile kanjena mhlawumbe angeke ibe nama results azokwazi ukuthi eqhube lokhu ukusebenza kwethu. Sibhekile ke manje nathi ukuthi uma senza this exchange program kwi-culture kuma co-ops engwenya glass Eswatini candles and so forth sikwenze ngokubhaleke phansi.
The Deputy Mayor of Umhlabialingana Municipality, Zonke Mjali, commends Ezulwini Town Council for keeping the town clean.
Since we got here, I've never saw a paper on the road. The town is so clean. That's why I'm saying we really are in heaven.
Eswatini Tourism Authority CEO Linda Nxumalo says the visit is also part of the tourism agreements between the two countries.
We are seeing a twinning of municipalities, Ezulwini Municipality and Gamhlabialingana Municipality.
The delegation visited Swazi Candles, Mandenga Cultural Village, and Ngwenya Class, among other places. The delegation is expected to pay courtesy call to their majesties. Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni, Themba Shabango, Ezulwini.
Following the appointment of 10 members of parliament by His Majesty King Mswati III, the date for the swearing-in ceremony of both the elected and appointed members of parliament of the House of Assembly is the 6th October 2023 in Parliament. Clerk to Parliament Benedict Klaba says the members of Parliament are requested to be in Parliament by 8:45 as they will have to attend a briefing at 9 a.m. in connection with the proceedings for the day. Klaba says women are requested to be in formal attire or traditional regalia, while males are implored to wear dark-colored suits or traditional regalia. Klaba stated that due to the limited number of seats in the gallery, members should not bring more than 3 people. Parliament will provide small marquee and a TV screen available to avoid congestion inside the chamber. Those implicated in forensic report on the drug shortage will soon face the wrath of the law. This follows a statement released by government through spokesperson Alpheus Nxumalo, which states that the report made by Funduzi Forensic Services has been handed to the Auditor General. Nxumalo says this report will now be handed over to the police for further investigation. It will also be given to the Director of Public Prosecutions, Cabinet and the Civil Service Commission. Nxumalo says government will not make the report public for now, despite the public eagerly awaiting to see it. He also says the report contains people's names and those of companies. He says the contents of the report are still subject to investigation. He also says government will soon release a summarized version of the report, which will not include people's names. Government has pleaded for patience as it deals with the matter. Hopes of candidates who were unsuccessful in the general elections to be in the race for Senate seats have seemingly gone in smoke. This follows a ruling by the Supreme Court setting aside a High Court decision which stated that Section 5, Subsection 3 of the Senate Elections Act 2013 is unconstitutional. This section of the Act states that an unsuccessful candidate in the recent general election shall not be considered for nomination to the Senate.
Following an end to the general election, members of parliament will vote for senators after being sworn in. The Senate Elections Act 2013 states that those who lost in the recent general election will not be able to stand for Senate elections. In 2018, Michael Masilela, who lost the race for Lobamba MP in that year, approached the High Court and prayed that the cited section of the Senate Elections Act should be struck down for its unconstitutionality. The High Court heard the matter and ruled in Masilela's favor. However, government appealed the decision. The Supreme Court has since found that a person who lost in the general election cannot change horses and ride one to Senate as a way to get to Parliament. The court says unsuccessful candidates should gracefully accept his or her fate. The court also says going to Parliament is not a gamble. It further says a candidate should decide from the onset whether they want to go to the House of Assembly or the Senate. The court says the section in dispute is aimed at bringing equality in the race for Senate. It also says to be rejected by one's inkundla only to be elected by members of the House makes a joke of the entire elections process. The court then granted the appeal, ordered that the High Court order be set aside, and that Section 5, subsection 3 of the Act is not unconstitutional. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela, High Court.
The Eswatini National Youth Council says the youth accounted for around 40% of registered voters in the general elections. The council says some of these young people also stood for elections and won. This has been said by NYC Communications Officer Sibongakonke Dlamini.
The Eswatini National Youth Council appreciates young people and congratulates those young people who won in elections. Some of them, they participated as voters and some of them stood in for elections. This is very commendable, and we encourage young people to continue in that spirit. Currently, the statistics for young people who voted is 40%. We are excited by this, but we will ensure that in 2028, the statistics increase. As a council, we are also open to assist those young people who have won the elections in terms of capacity building. Our hands are open and our doors are open. We will be with them through their journey, just to ensure that youth development issues are tackled well in the country.
The Meteorology Department has confirmed that the current season is expected to receive normal to above normal rains. According to Dudu Nhlengetwa, the Director for Meteorology Department, the kingdom is among countries that have entered the El Nino season. Nhlengetwa was speaking during the official climate outlook for the season.
The Meteorology Department in the Ministry of Tourism and Environmental Affairs, together with stakeholders, have provided the seasonal forecast for 2023-2024. The meeting provided a rainfall season review, agro-meteorology seasonal performance, as well as an ENSO update. Speaking during the meeting, the Director for Meteorology Department, Dudu Nhlengetwa, says the nation should expect normal to above rains. Nhlengetwa says the kingdom has already entered the El Nino season, just like other countries, as the SADC Meteorology Department has already provided the seasonal forecast for the region. Nhlengetwa says as much as reports have shown that the southern part of Africa might continue to experience intense disasters, the Meteorology Department will continue to update the nation.
Both in terms of the numbers and the intensity iyangekhula kulamalanga nje kuningi lesikubonile kwenteka etindzaweni letiningi temhlaba na kule ndzawo yethu yaseningizimu neAfrika siyabona leli zinga liyangekhula kulamalanga lesisuka kuwo nje sikubonile nakule kwenteke bomakhelwane bethu eSouth Africa sabona kuba netehlakalo cishe especially kule tindzawo leti coastal. So kuliciniso vele ukuthi isimo selitulo siyagucuka tehlakalo tiyangekukhula and kwentalo ukuthi kuto tonke tikhathi kufuna sihlale sigatsile ukuthi kungahle sibe khona sehlakalo thite.
Water scarcity is an increasing problem on every continent, with poorer communities most badly affected. According to the recent report by UN Water, the impact of a changing climate are making water more unpredictable, as 2.4 billion people live in water-stressed countries, of which 733 million live in high and critically water-stressed countries. Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni Themba Shabango, Ezulwini.
Russian strike killed at least 51 people gathered for a wake in an eastern Ukrainian village on Thursday in what a UN official called a horrifying attack.
Amidst the smoke and rubble, Ukrainian emergency workers strive to rescue and recover the victims of Russia's latest attack. On Thursday, the Ukrainian village of Hroza was devastated by a Russian strike, which killed dozens of people, including a 6-year-old child. According to the regional governor, a shop was hit as well as a cafe where around 60 of the village's 330 inhabitants had gathered to pay their respects to a deceased villager. Minutes go by and the lifeless bodies pile up. Although Interior Minister Igor Klimenko said preliminary reports suggested the attack was caused by an Iskander missile, security services are still processing the scene.
Prosecutors and investigators of the security services are working on the scene to analyze the debris and information about the victims and the type of weapons that were used for this attack. Criminal proceedings have been opened according to the Criminal Code of Ukraine.
Moscow's latest strike is one of the deadliest since the start of the Russian invasion of Ukraine in February last year. An attack which drew vivid condemnation from the UN and by President Volodymyr Zelensky, who was in Spain for a European leaders' summit. Kyiv is categorical. This new Russian strike is proof that Ukraine needs to strengthen its anti-aircraft defense. Yet another appeal to its allies at a time when the Ukrainian cause is losing support in Western countries, particularly in the United States, an essential source of financial and military aid in resisting Russian forces.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky arrived early at the third meeting of the European Political Community in Granada, Spain. He emphasized the need to preserve unity because he said the future of the continent hinged on it.
Volodymyr Zelensky arrived early at the third meeting of the European Political Community. He emphasized the need to preserve unity because, he said, the future of the continent hinged on it.
Russia is now considering various scenarios for the coming years. One of them is particularly dangerous. If there is some pause in their aggression against Ukraine, any freezing of the situation, there will be a new critical moment. If Russia is allowed to adapt now, by the 2028, the Kremlin will be able to restore the military potential that we destroyed.
The Ukrainian leader called for more air defense systems, artillery shells, long-range missiles and drones at a forum that was set up to foster cooperation between more than 45 countries from Albania to the UK after Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. But political turbulence in Europe has raised questions about continued support. Ukraine's efforts to export grain over land have caused tensions with Poland and some other eastern members of the bloc who are keen to protect their own farmers. But on Thursday in Granada, European leaders expressed their steadfast support amid fears that the US is wavering. The ouster of the Speaker of the House of Representatives has paralyzed budget negotiations,
It does worry me.
prompting President Biden to express concern about funding for Ukraine.
I hope it's not going to be a definite position of the US. Ukraine needs the support of the European Union, which is sure they will have it, and we will increase it, but also the support of the US.
For its part, the European Union is planning a €20 billion military fund to support the Ukrainian army over 4 years. But the head of European diplomacy stressed that this aid cannot replace that of the United States.
The U.S. has sent Ukraine more than 1 million rounds of Iranian ammunition that had been seized last year, the U.S. military said on Wednesday. U.S. naval forces for years have been seizing weapons believed to be from Iran, bound for Iran-backed fighters in Yemen, usually transported by fishing vessels.
Since the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Iranian weapons have been used against Ukrainian targets, as seen here in September 2022. However, the arms could soon be turned against Moscow. On Monday, some 1 million rounds of Iranian-made ammunition were delivered to Kyiv, months after they were intercepted by the U.S. authorities.
U.S. Central Command, naval forces seized these munitions as they were en route from Iranian Revolutionary Guard to militant groups in Yemen in violation of international law and United Nations Security Council Resolution 2216.
Since the beginning of the civil war in Yemen, Iran has been a key supporter of the Houthi separatists opposed to the government forces. According to Washington, the arms were confiscated by the U.S. Navy last December, just a few months before falling definitively in U.S. hands.
The government obtained ownership of these munitions on July the 20th, 2023, through the Department of Justice's civil forfeiture claims against Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps.
The move was welcomed by Kyiv, but comes as U.S. support for Ukraine is coming under increased criticism from some within the Republican Party. While the Pentagon assures that arms deliveries are not in danger in the short term, future aid packages will need to be approved by Congress. Pentagon Comptroller Michael McCord told House and Senate leaders that the government had about $1.6 billion left out of the Congress-approved $25.9 billion package to replenish its own stocks after sending those weapons and munitions to Ukraine.
The race to replace ousted House Speaker Kevin McCarthy took shape on Wednesday as Steve Scalise, the chamber's number 2 Republican, and Jim Jordan, a leading antagonist of Democratic President Joe Biden, said they would seek the post.
This is a job for somebody who's prepared to take the flak from both sides of the House. Jim Jordan, an Ohio congressman and hard-right favorite, thinks he's the man that can.
Sir, are you planning to run for the speaker position?
No, we are.
Yeah, we are. You are? Yeah.
His credentials: he chairs the House Judiciary Committee and notably is a key antagonist in an inquiry to impeach President Joe Biden, which the White House calls a political stunt. On a $26 billion funding package for Ukraine, he says this.
I'm against that. The most pressing issue on Americans' minds is not Ukraine. It is the
Sir,
border situation and it is crime on the street.
Gentleman from Louisiana. How many of us came here because we thought this job was going to be easy?
This is Steve Scalise. He wants the job too. He's already served as a House Whip assisting the Speaker. His return to frontline politics has amazed many of his supporters after events in 2017 when he was shot and seriously wounded at a charity baseball game. A month ago, he announced he's developed blood cancer and has started treatment. But he says he's fit for office and pitches himself as a consensus builder.
I don't see the kind of concerns or qualms that people had about McCarthy applying to either Jordan or Scalise. Now, I don't want to say that they're perfect candidates. Undoubtedly, there's some doubts about each of them. I think there's probably more doubts about Jordan. But the point being that whoever the party picks, they're likely to have a kind of honeymoon period.
Both candidates would likely need the blessing of the former president and current favorite for the Republican candidacy, Donald Trump. Some are even pitching his name as a wild card, despite his ongoing trials and criminal indictments. Not missing a beat to seize the limelight, Mr. Trump's latest social media post sees him holding the gavel.
U.S. future funding for Ukraine was up in the air on Thursday as the Biden administration discussed how best to support Ukraine in its war against Russian invaders without a House Speaker to bring Ukraine aid packages to a vote.
President Joe Biden meeting with his national security team to discuss the military aid situation for Ukraine. With the U.S. largely divided over funding to the war-torn Eastern European country, Biden plans to speak directly to the American people in a speech emphasizing that supporting Ukraine is the right thing to do and the best strategy for U.S. interest. It is the right thing to do, analysts say, because Russia violated Ukraine's sovereignty as guaranteed under international law, and because Russia broke its own agreement with Ukraine made in the 1990s, when Ukraine gave up its nuclear weapons in return for assurances that Russia would respect its independence and protect it from nuclear attacks.
So they're violating the essence of agreements that they've made, and that's very dangerous. That means, what is the nature of international relations? Agreements are not valid. Principles of the UN Charter are not valid. We're left with sort of the law of the jungle.
And it's in U.S. interest, officials say, because an expansion beyond Ukraine into Poland would obligate U.S. forces to defend Warsaw and spark a third world war. Officials say they are preventing that scenario with U.S. military aid, a whopping $48 billion so far, a sticker shock number to the average American, but less than 5% of the U.S. military's budget. Instead of fighting over aid amounts in the short term, former officials say the U.S. needs to think long term.
This is going to be a long war. We should maybe prepare now for another year of this fighting. And we should do the things that we can do to ensure that the next time the Ukrainians launch an offensive, they're going to be even better prepared than they were now.
The Pentagon can provide Ukraine up to $5.4 billion more in military aid under the Presidential Drawdown Authority, which allows the Pentagon to take from its own stockpiles. There's $1.6 billion left to replenish the Pentagon's weapons stockpiles, and no money left to provide Ukraine with long-term security needs under the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative.
We have enough funding to last for a bit longer, from a Department of Defense standpoint, and you'll see this next week at the UDCG. Secretary Austin remains singularly focused on making sure that we're working with Ukraine and our allies and partners to get what they need to be successful on the battlefield.
Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin will host another Ukraine Defense Contact Group for Ukraine's allies in Brussels next Wednesday.
We begin our sports roundup with table tennis that is expected to receive an equipment worth over 90,000 amalangeni from the International Table Tennis Federation. The equipment is expected in the kingdom by December this year.
Equipment.
8 minutes after 7, we've come to the end of our international news. Thank you for staying with us. Let's take a break. Manje.
Hello everyone and welcome to the show. You know the vibes, it's the beat down. The time is 8 p.m. It's time for you to relax, sit back, relax, and enjoy the music videos that I got for you.
Moving no direction, like it's a calling. Been alive in the middle of nowhere. Shake the ground and burn the air. So yeah, you don't have to hold back for anything or anyone. Just own this.
Sasiphinze sinomukele ehlelweni Kusile breakfast show shilo ke naqala lihlelo ukuthi sitawukhulumisa i-patience literacy campaign lokhu i-campaign ke lesukunyiswe litiko letempilo kakhulu ehlangothini loka HIV. We have Musa Gininza kodwa sichazela kabanti ngayo le campaign nyalo. Dutfonga sikwamukele ehlelweni unjani Naito?
Thank you Naito, siyabonga kuzamukela ehlelweni.
I-campaign yenu ibuke kakhulu Nanithi literacy I believe nakufundzisa kakhulu la luhlangothini loka HIV ngoba ngiyabona lapho kule title yakho ukuthi HIV self testing officer. Engabe yini le niyibonile ekutheni nisukumisa le campaign enqenje asichaze le campaign kabanti ukuthi iyini vele.
Okay, thank you. Siltikelo tempilo we have observed sisasebenza etibhedlela ukuthi we have a lot of our people who are retesting babuya bateste yet sabatesta before but isimo sabo sengadi babuya bateste again. Labanye ke kwanza ukuthi sebasathe treatment but they come back and test again presenting as new clients bangasho ukuthi they have tested before. So we have then with the support of JIPECO launched a campaign yethu yena treatment literacy whereby we want to educate the public to say own up your HIV status yiba nguwe damukele ukuthi wena so HIV positive then you take your treatment and live like that.
Engabe uma nibuka le behavior nje sesingena kakhulu emathunjini what is this informing really loku retesta kwabo what is prompting it?
Okay, nasenta lolucwaningo leswendile kuma facilities ethu last test akona ama testing points. Besibuta lokuthi lesibabonako la betako ba retesta ukuthi what is causing them to retest. Siyathola ukuthi some of them ba testa before then bayekela I treatment but treatment basebayekela nasebayekele ke nasebabuya they now present as new. Labanye khanze ukuthi they have been prayed for. We love prayer. We are a religious generation, but labanye bantu labathandazele bese bayeke treatment yethu. Labanye bantu khanze bayithi nyangeni bese bayekela treatment. So those are some of the reasons lewenda ukuthi bantu bayekele le treatment. So ke lokho inform ukuthi let's develop messages la address la barriers lango. Labanye we as Minister of Health sometimes we have been hard on our clients to say nangabe uqale treatment yakho angibekise ensingweni clinic naso urelocate sobeya lamba abane siyesithi ke nabe so uyekele biyele muva le but now we want to create an environment ngokuthi in the facilities you are welcome back to HIV care and treatment but shano ukuthi mina I tested and I'm HIV positive kungendike nje thinking endleleni ngayekela treatment then I want to re-engage into HIV care and treatment again.
From what I know is that there is still no cure for HIV. The drugs they know offer shago adlala inzima tsite ekutheni sithi ngesoda ayithi nzibalisi.
Yes.
Sikhuluma nyalo bo Shims 3 bakhokhe ama report abo 95. Do you think that kulesinye isikhathi kulaba laba doctor retester maybe sebafike kulesigaba lapho khona ncinci wafikile kulo 95 kulo detection?
So kahle kulo first 95 la ngisebenzela ngakhona mina ukuthi bantu they should test for HIV then 95% of laba positive basathi simo sabo sengade. We are not yet there because today we are at 94% as we speak. So we have even reached the target yet ke ngala kuba faka treatment laba sebatestile sek 97 bese ke ngala ku viral suppression kulo last 95 we are at 96. So we are behind in terms of knowledge of HIV status. But ke vele we do have these people ke saba aggressive in the testing tsine ke sifuna use nombolo tethu. We are seeing more of laba vele badadi now sebabuya bahlola again through we have got semi-S lema facilities so siyakhona lokubona ukuthi wena you are a new tester or you are retesting but we still have issues vele ka testing.
Viral suppression is at 96%.
Yes,
you say. Loko ku affecta kangakanani le campaign yenu particularly ngoba vele ni addressa naba lababuya ku tester engabe bona nasebafikile ku viral suppression to kule awareness do they get the sense that perhaps I'm safe now?
Yes, I challenge lesinayo ka viral suppression ukuthi udevela so kahle wes and we tell you na so because we check every 6 months monitor viral load. So nasi monitor ke sikhanze ukuthi wena you have viral suppressed legcwana alisabonakala akusho ukuthi alikho but some people back interpret wrong lokho to say sengide HIV kanti ikhona but lenani lekhona emtimbeni wakho lincane to be detected by lama test ethu So ke you run a risk lapho ukuthi when you come back uto testa ungasho wena ukuthi wena wa testa wa positive before. Sesikhanza ke ukuthi ke ngalama test ethu because in a sense antibodies against HIV when you no longer produce lama antibodies against HIV because so virally suppressed phela. So good antibodies lata kwenda kuwe because wena la sabonakala igcwane kuwe. So now testa ke wena singendeka sithi thina negative yet you are positive. So want to tell our clients ukuthi you are positive for good when you have tested HIV positive. So take your art
until a cure has been found. Yes. Thank you so much for clarifying that part. I think that is where the biggest danger is. Like saying umuntu abenalo because you cannot detect it anymore. Perhaps I'm HIV negative, so cancer so yekeli medication yakhe. So cancer nema practices akhe segaba informed by leyo misinformation labuyo at that point. Let's go back to the campaign. You've officially started the campaign. How long is it running for? And then itayihambisa kanjani vele ukuthi yenabele kule sivele nistargetile.
Okay, our campaign was launched last week on Tuesday, 26 September at the George, where we invited all stakeholders. So I launched a campaign through the Directorate in the Ministry of Health. So I campaign to run up until next year, mid next year. Lesikplanile ke kuwenda in the campaign. We are going to be running media campaigns whereby we are going to be invading all the spaces, the corners, social media, and even the media houses of the country will be there. Sikhuluma ngale information the service disseminator about owning your HIV status wherever you go. Hamba utati wena and be responsible and disclose to your loved ones. And we are going to be doing road shows in these major cities of the country, whereby we're pulling crowds and make sure we disseminate information here too. Another thing, the interviews with pastors, campaigns, traditional healers, about lama barriers. We have also engaged in welcome back campaigns, focus healthcare workers. To say when these people come back, don't be hard on them. Let's create an enabling environment to say you are welcome back. But I tested for HIV before. I'm HIV positive. Can you assist me in treatment?
Otherwise, just as Mr. Gininza, report it's been a couple of months since yaphuma. In terms of HIV prevalence.
In terms of that report, we are doing well as a country. To be honest, we are the first country to reach 95 targets. So as much as we are reaching our targets, they are, like I said in Jagusa HIV testing, 94%, not low 95. So now 94%, now analyze population groups. You see, amongst them adolescent and young women, and among men, 25 to 34, we still have a gap. Test for HIV among key populations, the men having sex with other men, the female sex workers. We have issues there. About 12% of those populations test. We have got issues like military again. So as much as we are happy because we have achieved, but now analyze lama pockets, these subpopulations. You see, we still have some work to do as Minister of Health, especially in the HIV testing program where I am.
Certainly. Good luck with the campaign, Mr. Gininza. Hopefully, it will figure again. Key populations, the information is disseminated. I do see a danger there of receding from Meteorological targets. Should all these things that you are disseminating in terms of information. Thank you so much for your time, Musa Gininza, self-testing HIV officer, Eswatini National AIDS Program from the Ministry of Health. Special Ed Market.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you'll go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience in the kingdom.
Ungabukela ke washa umkhukhu every Sunday at 3 p.m.
We spend a lot of time thinking about our physical health, toning our muscles, our abs, building our stamina. What about our brain's health? What do we mean by that? Who is at risk of poor brain health? And how can we keep our brain healthy? Dr. Tarun Dua is here to talk to us about it. Welcome, Tarun. Talk to us about brain health. What do we mean by that?
So everything we do, every thought we ever had is produced by the brain. So that means brain health is very important for us. It enables us to function well cognitively, emotionally, socially, so that we can have meaningful lives and function well productively in society. Brain health starts early in life and it enables a child to achieve full developmental potential, to have educational opportunities, and to have economic opportunities. Our brain can be challenged by one or the other risk factors, be it lack of nutrition, be it environmental pollutants, and that means we can have a brain disorder. If you look at the neurological disorders such as epilepsy, dementia, migraine, stroke, meningitis, based on global burden of disease, they are the leading cause of disability and second leading cause of death. So therefore, if we have to function well, we need to have good life, we need to promote our brain health, we need to prevent neurological conditions.
So Tarun, talk to us about who is at risk of poor brain health.
We are all at risk, and some are more at risk than others, and I'll explain it. So for example, if we are exposed to some of the risk factors, and these starts early in life, in fact, when the child is still in the womb, the health of mothers, including the mental health of mothers, lack of good diet, that can impact how the child's brain will develop. And after the child is born, depending on the environment, for example, poverty, physical environment, financial security, all can impact the brain health. Then there are other risk factors in our environment. So for example, air pollution, other pollutants like pesticides, they can all impact our brain health. Infectious diseases. An example that comes to my mind is COVID-19. Many of us had brain health conditions looking at post-COVID condition that impacts our brain. Then there are a range of injuries by sports or accidents that can impact our brain health. And not to forget, if you have one of the non-communicable diseases like hypertension, diabetes, that also impacts your brain health.
So that's a long list of things that impact our brain health. Tell us, how can we keep our brain healthy?
I'll tell you 3 things you should do. One is have a healthy lifestyle, and that means at least 30 minutes of exercise. Eat healthy, balanced diet with lots of fruits and vegetables, low on sugar and salt. No smoking, limit your alcohol, and good sleep hygiene. That's extremely important. The second point I would like to make here is be socially connected, and engage in meaningful activities. Connect with your family, friends, peers. Learn a new activity. For example, a new language, puzzles. These are extremely important, be it you are a child or you are an adult or you are an older adult. And third, if you have a physical health condition, go to a doctor, get it diagnosed, because you can prevent lots of brain health conditions if you are taking treatment early. A small tip to remember is what is good for your heart is also good for your brain.
So those were some great tips on keeping our brain healthy. I'm going to focus on good sleep. What would you like to do to keep your brain healthy? Talk to us about it. Until next time then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stick with science.
Asibinze sinemukele siyakuvuselana lwasanza ukusivulila. Thank you for joining us. It's a beautiful Friday morning. Sasama ukuthi niphilile lapho nikhona khona kukhumbuta nje ukuthi this weekend I think sivetile mgonekuseni nasingena ukuthi vele this weekend kutawuba nema by elections dokumele ukuthi kube netindzawo letimbili esifundeni sakaManzini kanye naseshiselweni lapho khona kube nema by elections libandla yeTerkefo nemincele selimemetele ukuthi litawubanjwa ama by elections mhla ka 7 October 2023 in all the affected polling divisions. And get registered eMaswati in these centers are requested to participate. A hashtag ngetingasala nasakhalive letfu. And ke libandla leTerkefo nemincele selikhokhe isimemete esiphuthumako kulandzela kulingana kumavoti elikhetfweni lesisuka kulo. Libandla leTerkefo nemincele itinkhundla Elections and Boundaries Commission latisa sona sive kule miphakathi ngaphansi kwaletinkhundla letilandzelako kokuthi lukhetfo lokuhlukanisa ama elections litawubanjwa ngemgcibe lomhla ka 7 October kanti sesifundzeni sakaManzini kutaba senkhundleni yasentondosi umphakathi kuseNcabaneni bese ukuthi indzawo kuseNcabaneni High School eshiselweni bese ukuthi eHosia kukaMethula Shiselweni 2 kusemanyiseni kanti indzawo kukaLomfa esikhotheni khona kutabe kuse umsebenzi wabuchubeka eBejisa Primary School evele bantfu High School Alliance Church sikhathi sekucala kuvota kuto tonke letindzawo ngo7 ekseni kuthi made kube ngo7 kusihlwa.
Ya kanti ke sikatsile lungalela ukuthi njengoba lo msebenzi lo nitawuthi nawuphela nje utabe usho kona ukuthi lukhetho selugocotiwe ngalokuphelele enoqhutshwa ngoyo ke EBC but lesikubonako esukwini lalamhlanje sikatsile ukuthi kube ne live broadcast ngabo 10 namhla ekseni kalobamba utabe kuswerishwa in emalunga eParliament phecelezi ke iHouse of Assembly officially there will be sworn in sikatsile ukuthi nayicetha kuba sworn in tabe seku announce iHouse of Senate kude ke indlu itawu bese seyaphelela kanti ke lungelele utawukhumbula ukuthi konke lo ma developments that we have been tracking solo nje kwa dissolve yona i11th parliament suke khona kuma nominations saya kuma primary elections saya kuma special voting safika kuma secondary elections nyalo ke kulesigaba lesikuso nglakhona sitawubona na intuthuko lesitayibona uma kubumbana insimbi yelishumi lomuhla kutabe kumnanzi kakhulu.
Yeah, kunjalo mukele. I think babe particular simemetele nje lasikhokhile clerk to parliament Benedict Xaba itolo vetile ukuthi malunga eParliament kumele ukuthi agcoke kanjani uvetile nje emkweni ukuthi bobabe bayacela ukuthi vele bafake amasuthu nabo make nabo babe presentable in traditional regalia babangaphinza bagcoke impahla leti formal babe presentable.
Yeah, kanti ke ucizelele futhi clerk in case likhona ilunga leParliament nje lelibukela ukuthi le breakfast show leselifake isudu lengathi igcame kakhulu kungathi mhlonishwa leyo kufuna ukuthi uyishintshe ufake nje lengathi ithulisile iyahlonipheka nakanjani hawu vele ulicobe ukufana nemnguni nje njengoba ngibona ukuthi ngilicobile but that is the exact announcement that was made by clerk to Parliament Benedict Xaba esukwini layidolo. We will be broadcasting the event lena live as Eswatini TV. Siyathemba ukuthi kwelo muhle you will be watching it. Kumabona kutse na kwa YouTube we are streaming on our Eswatini TV YouTube channel.
Yeah, I think it's also important to highlight in Zabeke ukuthi bacelile ukuthi malunga afike by 8:45 this morning because there'll be a meeting at 9 ngaphambi kokuthi umsebenzi uqale nasekabengce insimbi yemfica namhlekuseni, and of course singumsakazo nathi sidabe sicala ku broadcaster immediately nje kuqala umsebenzi at 9:30, so please do stay with us. Sidabe sitholakala kusigujana kanjalo kona sekasini lethu letekuxhumana aka YouTube sidabe sikhona umsebenzi utawo uqhubeka khona kubona ukuthi ngabe nabafungiswa kutabe kwendekani kahle kahle ema procedures lalandzelako sidabe siwabona kusukela nje aqala khona eParliament.
Maybe on another very important announcement, His Majesty King Mswati III, through interim Induna Yembali Bongiwe Hlatshwago, announced the Shiselweni leg of Umhlanga dance ceremony that will take place from the 13th of October until the 15th of October 2023. Sebesemaswati ke sonke sekhute lwandle kulolo hlangothi sithi bayethe wena waphakathi sithemba ukuthi imbali lungelele njengoba imbali nje utabe ukhona lapha embangweni yashiselweni sigitsa kube kuhle nje impela Thombe.
Yeah, kunjalo mnguni simele yona impela Somvo. I think nasibuka neweather futhi kongathi lilanga litabe libalele sethemba ukuthi umsebenzi utabe uhamba kahle utawuhamba kahle impela. I think ulanga legitsa nguSunday Somvo. Yes, Somvo. So yes, we're looking forward to it. Sisema ukuthi nawe mbukeli sawutilungiselele noma ke nawe mbali lekhona ekhaya sawutilungiselele ukuthi sala uyakhona eshiselweni lapho kutaqhubeka khona umsebenzi omkhulu kube live.
Yeah, I think the announcement emphasizes Gutsi on the 13th, Imbali Itaupalisa.
Yeah.
On the 15th, they will present the reed in front of their majesties. And then on the 15th, on Sunday, Gutabege Gulusugu Lapukona Staibona Imbali Igitsa. Gutabe Gum 70 Lomla Kulisai Kutsat, Imbali's Funza Saseshi Seven Gutsi Pume, Gabuning Bayo, Yakona, Mshlang and Ganzagasi Villanova Gutsige, Netin Vonati.
Right, so 6 minutes before 8 o'clock asibahlole emakethe nasibuya sitawuvala hlelo.
Eswatini Lifestyle is all about inspiration, drive and swag. Eswatini Lifestyle is informative and fun while covering all aspects of life, be it people, places and trends in the Kingdom of Eswatini. We got you covered. The focus is on the quality of life. Eswatini Lifestyle will spark your interest. Catch Eswatini Lifestyle every Friday at 7:30 p.m. on Eswatini TV, Sibugo Semaswati.
What do you think the best part of traveling is? Is it the food, or is it the conversation, or is it the sights and sound? If you're ready to explore, we are ready to show you the best way how. We'll give you access to the best luxury getaway sites in the Kingdom of Eswatini, and of course show you vacation sites that suit your budget, because you do not need a lot of money to actually have a great time. Join us on the next adventure on Buhlebethu, only on Eswatini TV.
This weekend Eswatini, your official weekend party starter. Tune in for the best of entertainment. We're bringing you the hottest music videos and live studio interviews with your favorite celebrities. We're giving you a front row seat to the latest fashion trends as well as your weekend gig guide. Join us live on social media and call in to send your shoutouts. Be sure to catch our movie segment where we review and give updates on all latest movies. Catch This Weekend Eswatini every Friday at 5:30 p.m. live on Eswatini TV.
Hello everyone and welcome to the show. You know the vibes, it's the beat down. The time is 8 p.m. It's time for you to relax. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the music videos that I got for you.
Moving no direction, like it's a calling. Been alive in the middle of nowhere. Shake the ground and burn the air. So yeah, you don't have to hold back for anything or anyone. Just on this
Ya kusele nje imizuzu lemithathu kubumbane insimbi yesiphohlongo lomuhla ekuseni from myself and Lungelele kwalomuhla sithi ube nempela sonto lenhle kakhulu nale phephile nale very responsible sitabonana ngemsombuluko weliviki lelitako nisale kahle.
Uyezwa na uthokandaba emagumbamane omhlaba ngemandla sibaya esigodlweni elitsitsini mhlati ngemashumi lamabili nakutsatfu imbala usho njalo ke mswazi omnyama kulabaluthuli ulodunganzaba wasembelebeleni ulodunganzaba wasemambondweni uduma phasi bakuzwe ngezingcingo msakandaba bakuzwa ngezingcingo bayakubalekela bayethe wena waphakathi